Welcome, 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 my lovelies. As always, I hope you are well. And thank you right away for switching on this video and watching it. Cheers, everybody. A cup of tea this morning. Okay, so this video, I'm really pleased to tell you, is I've now, through different things happening, I have now been given permission to video the commission house that I'm doing, or this next big commission house that I'm doing. Yay! And I know you're all desperate to see how the work has been getting on. This is a really good thing, really positive thing. The videos won't be so long that I'm showing you everything that I'm doing and making. It's more video of letting you see the progress of the house and how the house has come along. I can show you what my plans are in each room and then show you the bits once they're done. So hopefully, if this video doesn't work out too long, hopefully I'm going to show you in this video all the ground floor rooms. There's 3 rooms altogether. The reason I'm doing this off screen is because the house is right there beside me. Oh no, it isn't. Oh yes, it is. Right now, when I'm doing a house of my own or a commission house, it doesn't make any difference. And I've planned it out. This commission house, by the way, I haven't planned this. Emma Waddell, she has her own Facebook page. She's a world-renowned interior miniature designer of interiors, and her houses are spectacular, of course. And if you want, you can go onto her page. She has a Grand Designs page in Facebook. I shall put the link or description, or however I can work it out, in the description box below. It'd be lovely if you went onto that and looked at the Facebook page. There are people from all over the world putting in photos and videos and things of all the work they're doing, and it just gives you so much inspiration looking at these pages. It's absolutely amazing. You could comment on everything really, but it's having time. But anyway, so if you go onto her page, that would be absolutely fantastic. And although she doesn't know I'm telling you this, I'm sure she would be grateful to have new family members join her. But yes, this commission is a commission that I've got through Emma. She designed the whole house first of all. Sometimes I'll get a commission and it will be up to me what I do with it. I think the pink house, if you look at the pink house that I did before on a video, that was I had designed that myself. But Emma has done all the work for me. All I have to do is put it together, which is great. So what I do like to do, if it hasn't already been designed for me and it's one that I'm doing myself, then I love to have a book like so. And if I open it up, actually I've also done, well, I have just done this commission, but even though I have all the plans, I'll just show you, there's lots and lots of plans and things written down here for every single room. And the rooms that are going to be made, because it'll have more rooms when it's finished than it began with. But I still like to write down my tasks from 1, 2, 3, 4 onwards, and it makes the whole job a lot easier. I won't give you the lady's name because I've written it for privacy reasons, obviously. It's a private commission, but I've just done here. Made a list 1, 2, 3, 4 of things that I want to do, and I usually write them down, if I can. I write them down from what I would be doing first. So paint the walls, make and fit the chimney breast, that sort of thing. Then before you put the skirting on, I put the flooring down. I don't put the flooring down first, because if you're painting walls you may drip it onto the floor, that sort of thing. It's just common sense really, the order that you put it in, but obviously it's your own choice. But yes, I like to write that down, and what I do is I do it at each room. So I do a whole section there. So I've started with the servants' hall, then I've gone next door to do the scullery. Next door to that is the kitchen, which I have just started on, but I will write it out on the next page before I go any further. I've just painted the walls. So that would be the first thing I'd do anyway. So I will write it out, and then once I've done each thing, I just tick it off as I go down the list. Job done. So that's just one way of keeping organised, basically. Especially with a big house, I would imagine it's quite easy just to get really stressed with it, because you're thinking of different things, different rooms and whatever. I like to have it all worked out in my head. So what I'll do is I'll take you now and I'll show you the first couple of rooms that I've done, just so you can see, get the idea, get the feel of what the house is going to look like when it's finished. So let's go over here and have a look. Okay, so here we have the servants' hall so far. Well, so far this is completed. Once it has furniture in it, then it's going to really bring the whole room to life, as the whole house will come to life when it's filled with lovely furniture. It's got a really nice light there. Sorry about the focus. And lovely little stone fireplace there, little plaster fireplace. And the walls, I don't know if you can see them, if I can get them. Yeah, you can just see it there. The wallpaper is embossed, so that's the panelling around the bottom of the room, and that's put on and painted the colour of your choice. And then the flooring as well, that's a mosaic flooring that you glue down. You cut it into your size that you need, and then you glue it down, and then you put grout, you seal it, and then you put grouting on it. And then after that's wiped off, I've also waxed the floors and rubbed them. You can just maybe see the slight sheen there, the fireplace. So they've just got just a mild sheen to them. They're not shiny as such, but they're just tastefully got a slight sheen. And also the flooring, it's all handmade, so there's slight different shades here, just slight different markings on the tiles, so they're not a perfect solid colour, which would look very, very false. So they're lovely, lovely plaster tiles, lovely work there. Really, really nice. I would like that for one of my houses. So, and there we are. There we have a door going in. These, I'll just show you. There's, if I can get my hand around here, there's tiny, it doesn't matter if you do it before you paint or after you paint, but tiny little holes there. I think there's another one there, yeah, going up there. And that's where the house has been made, with tiny little panel pins that go in to hold the bits together. I will just put a tiny bit of filler in there. I mean, it's a pin prick. It looks bigger than the video, but you can see against my finger, there's a tiny little hole. And I will fill that and sand it slightly, and then just paint the wall again. That just covers those up. And that, as we look through the door there, that's going through to the scullery, which is also finished. So let's have a look in there as well. So this wall here, this is an extra wall that's been put in. We'll find that as the house goes on, there'll be other walls sectioned off to make more rooms. So if we just move into the scullery, here we have the flooring again. It is a scullery, so it has no skirting boards anywhere. Sorry it's not lit up, but I can't light them up until I've wired everything up at the back there, and then we can put the lights on at the end to show you. But the lady wanted an old-fashioned hairdryer that you can hang washing on for drying. I suppose if you had it in a kitchen area, you could hang pots and pans on it. But that's wired up exactly how a real one would be. So you can actually, I've fitted it with this, handle here that you can wrap around, and then you can actually pull it, lower it up and down. And if it's got some weight on it at all, then the ropes would be taut, quite straight looking. So there we are, that's that room. Okay, so here we have the kitchen, a work in progress, obviously, and a bit of the behind the scenes going on here. So of course, eventually I will put the door in. I've only just laid the floor in, so the door will go in next, which would be next on the list for this area. So the reason I've done the tile in this way is because I'm going to put in a whole false wall right across the back there, so many inches forward. And I'm going to cut an archway out at the end of this wall, so you'll be able to see through. So that's why this is tiled. And then from here, as you look through, I'm going to have a set of stairs going up and disappearing up into the house. So it just gives it more depth and more interest. I don't know yet, before I place everything, what you'll actually see. So if you can see it, I'm going to put skirting board in the corners here. As you look through the archway, you'll probably be able to see that. And then the skirting will carry on this side into the kitchen itself, beyond this wall when it's put up. And also, as you look through into the archway, as the lighting is on in the evening or whenever, you will see a light coming from the archway from upstairs looking down, and that's when I've put a hole in the wall there and fitted in a bulb and fixed it in at the back, so that can, through time, if it ever goes, it can just actually be pulled out through the back of the house, a replacement bulb, and it can be fitted back in again. So that's an easier way to change bulbs. Otherwise, once this archway and this wall is in, I wouldn't be able to get up there to actually change light in. So this is it in progress. So you won't need this bit of flooring here because the wall will come beyond that. In this area here, I'm going to cut out in the wall a section for putting the Aga, and I'm going to set that into the wall, into the false wall. And hopefully it's going to look super when it's finished. So let's carry on with that. Before I do that, guys, I just wanted to show you the difference here. When you buy stairs, they're just wood coloured. There we are, wood. And then you paint them or stain them to the colour that you want. So I've stained these a nice walnut colour, a walnut coloured stain. But also the stairs are just squared like so. These have been untouched apart from an undercoat there as of white. I didn't do an undercoat under here. I'd started painting them to go into a different section of the house, and then realised I wanted to use these stairs for this part of the house, so I stained the rest. But also, if you can see the ones that are finished, I've cut separate bits of wood to go on top. So you can see there's an overstep there on the bottom of each step, and it just gives it more, it just looks better, and gives it a much nicer finish, and it comes out over the edge of the stairs there as well, so it's just a nice grander finish. Okay, there we are. That gives you an idea. Sorry about the focusing, but I've done all the skirting on the false wall going in through the archway along each side of the range. I fitted a new mantle on top of the range just to make it slightly bigger again, and then that will be nice for the client. They'll be able to put bits and pieces on the top of the mantle there, but I think it looks really good with the stairs going through to the stairs. So I shall just now carry on, fit all the rest of the skirting, put the light in the room, and the coving, and then that should be it finished, and I shall show you the finished effect. Just a quick tip about putting in lights. If you want your light in the centre of the room, the ceiling lights I'm talking about, and you want them in the centre, and you want to measure the centre of the room, a quick idea, if you can get into the room, is to get a length of wood or something, and put a piece of wood diagonally across the ceiling from corner to corner, and draw a little line fairly near the middle, and then put the wood from the other corner to corner and draw a line over that line, and that will give you the exact centre. Sometimes it's not as easy to do that when you can't get in properly. Another way I've found that I find easy to do is to measure the depth of the ceiling from the back wall to the front and halve that measurement, so you know that's halfway along from the front to the back, and then measure the width of the ceiling from side to side and measure half of that. Those two measurements just make a piece of paper that exact size. So then you put that into one of the corners, doesn't matter, just any of the back corners of the room in your house. So if that's the back wall and the side wall, you lay that up against the ceiling, and then you know that point there is exactly in the middle of the room, because this is now a quarter of the size of the room. So 4 of these would make the whole room. So just lay it up in lay it up in one corner so it's nice and neat, and draw a tiny little pencil mark at that corner, and you have the centre of the ceiling. Ta-da! I've now drilled a hole in the thing. Oh, also, my trusty toolbox. If I couldn't quite get the Dremel under the ceiling or on the top coming down, because the rooms are the same depth, and this was about 1 inch too long with the drill in it, and I couldn't get it straight up, so you don't want to go in at an angle, but using one of these goes in much easier. It's a hand drill, and all I did, that goes in, the height of the ceiling is higher than this, so I just put that up underneath or on the top and just drill up and down. Then after I've done that, I'll show you I'll show you in the room above where I've done the routing line. So if you there's bits of decorating going on there, so if you look in here, this is in the parlour coming down here. Sorry, it's a bit dark. Well, I have put 2 lights in the ceiling and then taped it down so you can't feel it or see it. And where are we? And this is actually, even though it's not in the centre of this area, because we have a false wall, remember, in the kitchen. So once the wall was in, this is now the centre of the kitchen below, under there. So I drilled the hole, and then to get these lines, by the way, when the house is built as a kit, it didn't have the division walls in it, it just had big rooms. So these are already cut out for placement of lights, if you want it that way. But because I'm putting lots of different rooms in, I'm making my own holes for the lights. But then to do this routing line out here, I'll use a drill just to go straight out the back there. But to do this routing line, it doesn't have to be as neat as the mechanically made ones when you buy the kit. It just has to be a groove cut out to lay your wire flat. And with that, I use the Dremel again, and I just use a little baby, it's probably not in focus, but a little routing tool there, and just switch it on and just work it along there, backwards and forwards, and it just gives you a nice routing line to hide your cable. Okay, so here we have the finished kitchen with a really nice light fitted into the ceiling there, and the nice fireplace. I've done, as I said, I've done the I just finished the fireplace off. Although it fitted in really neatly how I'd cut it, I've just put tiny little finishing strips there to give it a nice bit of shape in there at the side of the fireplace, or the range. And I've put an extra mantle on the top there, painted it the black, the same as the mantle, the original mantle, and it just gives it another dimension and slightly wider, so things can be put on the top there. So that's the kitchen complete, ready to go. Now let's move on to the pantry, the next room, which is through that door there. Okay, so we are now on the what would we call it, the penultimate room in the basement. Hurrah! This will be the last room, which is going to be the garden room. That's still to come. So in this is the pantry. I still have to put a light in the ceiling and finish off the tiny strip of cornice there at the top, just to finish it off nice and neat. It looks nice and neat against the ceiling, but I just think that extra bit looks really nice, just gives it slight more detail, seeing as there's no baseboard or skirting board. And this old stone flooring, I think looks the way it's made, it looks really good, sort of worn looking. These tiles are excellent to use. They're not very cheap, but they're not extremely expensive. But they just look used and worn. They come like that. They've been grouted, so it's ready to put this next wall up. I've put the door in here. Now the pantry shelving, the lady that's having the house, was her house, she gave me directions of putting shelving in. She just gave me heights from the floor, a certain height up to the first shelf, then the next shelf, and then the other two shelves. So I just had the exact heights, which I have done. But she didn't specify how long the shelves were, what colour they were, how they were made. That I've used my artistic license, and I think they look really, really good. I hope you do too. I don't know if you can see, it's very mildly on the first two shelves, which would be in real life, they'd be the shelves that are used more than the higher up ones. The higher up ones probably have things that you would store, that you would take out now and again. The lower ones would be things that you would use a lot. And I've just sanded along the very edge of the wood in certain places, just to give it a very, very slight worn look. So it's just sort of worn looking. And the wood as well, I did paint it just an ivory colour, so it looks really nice against the French grey. And the brackets underneath, that was a cornice that I used, and I just cut that into exact size slithers all the way along, so they're all the same size. So we just need to put the wall in, finish off the coving at the top, and put a light in. Right, now when I put the false wall in, sliding it in like that, all the walls come with the cutout for the door. So there's not going to be a cutout in this room. It's going to be a solid, let me just lay that there for a minute. It's going to be a solid wall, and then the garden room is going to have doors going out the back into a false wall to give the impression that you can go through the house that way. So the pantry will just have one door in to the pantry, and it will be a full solid wall. So in order to make a solid wall, I have cut out some MDF, the same thickness as the wall itself, and I've glued that in so it's flush. And also there was a tiny gap down there, very hairline crack, but I've smoothed that over, polyfilled it and smoothed it. And also, once the wall is painted, I'll put the wall in going that way, so it goes down into the corner there. So you won't be able to see the door anyway on that side. But if I show you on the other side, I'm not going to bother doing anything with that side of the door, because once it's in, there'll be a false wall coming out beyond that where the door is, so that won't even show in the house at all. Right, so I've put the false wall that I've cut in the back of the room there. As I say, I fitted a light behind that, so in the evening, if the lights are switched on, then you'll be able to see a light through into the back hallway there. We've finished painting the doors, but they're not going on yet until the wallpapering is done and the woodwork is done. I'm going to put a wood panel in and around the base here, and a dado rail along the top, and the wallpaper will come down to that. It's a beautiful mural wallpaper that's going in here for the garden room. I shall show you that next. Okay, so it comes in two pieces. This is one of the pieces. It's a beautiful beautiful one called English Parks. As I say, it's in two panels. It's by Alison Davies Miniatures. If I remember, hopefully I shall put a link to Alison Davies' site as well in the description box below, so you can look at her site. But this is one of two panels. As I say, both panels are completely different. There is no beginning and end, so you can't actually join them up to be, you know, to match exactly, like a sort of repeat pattern wallpaper. So so it doesn't look completely odd in either corner. I've thought of a way to join them, and it means cutting into the panel itself, and losing a section. You'd have to do that anyway because both panels together are longer than the actual three sides of the garden room, so you would have bits cut off anyway. So I'm just going to get on and paper it and then show you what I've done. Okay, so I've papered around the room. I didn't cut out the window to start with. The paper can move very easily and stretch. I just papered the entire wall, and then I've cut out the archway afterwards. But I just wanted to show you the difference between, if I can just reach over and get the window, if I can show you the difference between like this and the light that comes in on the walls there when there's a window in the side of the building. It makes quite a difference. So we'll take that out. So I had to use the two panels, obviously. One wasn't enough to go all the way around. And hopefully in the corners of the room you'll see the picture does continue around, and there's no visible joins. And in the corner there it continues and there's no visible joins. And then, as you can see, I just got a section at the end of the panel, which was quite good because I didn't have to waste any, and just cut it down above the door there, just where the sky is. So although as I say, it wasn't a repeat pattern, it's less obvious there. Once you see the door in and the coving up as well, and you just look at the room in general, it has to join somewhere. And that was the least obvious place to join it. It was the smallest area to join, and the least obvious place to join as well, visually. So the corners, the wallpaper that actually goes around the corners of the room, without any breaks in the paper anywhere. Hurrah! Okay, and here we have the room complete. The flooring, skirting, the border, the dado rail, and the lights are put in, all finished. I'm very, very happy with it personally. So that's all the ground floor finished. So let's just show you the sort of all the ground floor in one go. So here we start with the servants' hall first of all, and then we go through to the scullery. So it's a bit dark there, that's a bit better. And then you can go straight through into the kitchen area. Oh, sorry about the focusing. And then you can go through a door there into the pantry. Let's get in so you can see that a bit clearer. And then there's no wall going through into the garden room, but you would enter that through the French doors at the back. There we are, into the hallway at the back. So, very pleased. Okay folks, so I hope you enjoyed this video of the ground floor of the commission house. I'm really enjoying it. It's taken me ages, but I think I'm a perfectionist. I hate anything to be out or wrong or anything, so it just takes me so much longer. I can't rush it. What can I say? But it's coming on really nicely. I hope you enjoyed it. In part 2 of these videos, I will do the second floor, and part 3 I'll do the third floor. So I've already started on the second floor and already started the videos, so hopefully that will be on soon as I can get it done for you guys. And also I'll give you an update of John Boy's house here. He's taken out walls, moving walls, putting walls in. He's getting lots of inspiration from my commission that I'm doing, where he's seeing me put in extra walls and things. So, and he's doing a really good job too. So cheers. And also, I've been to the local charity shop and got myself a fleece because it's winter now, and it just gives me a little change and something nice and warm to wear. John Boy says all I need is a hat and I would look like Santa. On that note, I will love you and leave you. Okay, take care folks, and speak to you again soon. Bye all.